Rallying, can you invite me to the party and then invite me to the lobby or something?
Let me need to add you.
Okay,
Oh crap!
I think we're ready to go.
Crap! Oh, all right.
Yep.
We all right.
Time's
Welcome
time's up and we're
to
live.
Spies and Sabotage, a tournament hosted by Dota University. For those of you who didn't see the SEA bracket earlier today, this is sort of a fun little Midas mode-esque tournament where every match has two randomly rolled rules, a set of four randomly selected sabotages that cost a currency called Spies that players can expend Spies to buy the sabotages to negatively affect the opposing team.
Mm-hmm.
To gain more spies, there will be a selection of contracts. They can select as many or as few contracts per match as they would like. Completion of the contracts gives the indicated rewards, but if you fail to complete your contract, you lose a spy for failing to complete the contract. Also, completing every match gives you an extra spy. This is a double elimination tournament, best of ones, so every team gets one match but two chances to lose. The grand finals will be a best of three, and those are tomorrow. Today, we're going to play through the first round of the bracket, and then we're going to do the upper bracket finals. We have EU now, and about 6 hours from now, we have NA. And we, I think, are all good and ready to go. We already have, from the tournament admins, the first set of rules for our first match. Let me double check the bracket so I can correctly identify them. I lost my bracket. There's my bracket tab. Our first match of the day is going to be Goblin Town Truckers Association versus InSanity. Let's get that match underway. So, first up, we don't know who. Okay, Goblin Town is going to be Radiant. So let's take a look at what rules were randomly selected for this first match. Our first rule is 20/20 vision. Neither team is allowed to deward any enemy observer wards. This obviously does not apply if you place it in the if you place a ward under tower and the creeps take it out, then can't do anything about that. But no player dewarding of enemy observer wards. Our second rule for this match is going to be the river is lava. Neither team can step foot in the river until the game timer reaches 10 minutes. So what do we think about these rules? Right off the bat, we have two radically shifting Dota mechanics. You can't walk through the river. You can't deward enemy wards. Thoughts on this?
Okay. I want to begin with the river is lava, because that seems like a pretty restrictive rule. You can't step foot in the river until 10 minutes. So there's runes that you can't touch. You can't even cross the lane in the mid lane. So I can foresee the mid lane matchups going to be really, really different here, because imagine they've pulled the creeps under the tower. You physically cannot walk across the lane to attack the creeps, basically. What do you do if you're a melee hero and the creeps are in the middle of the river?
Yeah.
You just kind of look at them?
So they know these contracts before the draft, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they have been made aware of all of the rules and the sabotages, which we will get
so I
to in a
think
minute.
if you know that the river is lava, right, like you generally want to pick a hero like Medusa who doesn't need runes and doesn't make early rotations. So like a mid Medusa, she could just farm jungle, like that kind of thing. Probably expect to see heroes like that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So you're talking about how you can play really defensive in mid because you know they can't gank
Yeah,
you.
like you wouldn't want to pick a hero like Quap or Puck because they depend on making rotations through the river.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's really going to change the draft if they think about that at least. I hope they don't accidentally put a melee hero mid and realize what a mistake they've made.
All right, and then in addition to these universally applied rules, we also have sabotages available for purchase. Let's take a look at those now. First up, our Tier 1 sabotage is going to be Aghanim's Trials. The purchasing team can select an enemy hero on the opposing team who will be unable to purchase Aghanim Scepter for the whole match at a cost of 1 spy. Our second tier sabotage is Smoke Free Zone. The enemy team cannot use Smoke of Deceit or Ninja Gear. Third Sabotage, Battle Cry. If an enemy is going to gank a lane, they must type a creative battle cry in all chat at least 5 seconds prior to arriving in that lane to gank. And then finally, our Tier 4 Sabotage, Ultimate Letdown. The enemy team cannot skill their ultimate ability until they reach level 8. And it is important to note that all teams in this tournament start with 5 available spies. So let's take a look at all of these sabotages together. Rallying Cry, Shani, if you were captains, what would you be thinking right now? What would you want to spend your first 5 spies on?
So you start with 5. These are carrying on between the games, is that right?
Correct.
So you obviously could spend all of them straight away. You could get a 4 and a 1 or a 2 and a 3. But obviously you may not want to use all of them straight away. You're going to earn more spies. I feel like the ultimate letdown, obviously requiring the most spies, is probably the most potent one there. Imagine these supports, they're running around, it hits 10 minutes, they finally get the tome, they just hit level 6, maybe level 7, they still can't use their ultimate. So it just sort of, it slows the game down a lot for the enemy team. They've not got these big ults ready to fight with. So if you've got a team that's very aggressive and you're going to draft around that, that's how I like to play the game, a really early game aggressive lineup. I would be taking ultimate letdown, definitely. It lets our team fight way before theirs does.
All right, well, we do actually have the selected sabotages by the teams. Let's see what they chose. So both teams going for smoke-free zone.
What do you think about that, Shani?
So smoke-free zone, meaning there's certain areas where, the enemy team cannot use smoke to see or energy. Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes the game simpler, right? Like, I mean, it's interesting because you're not going to see too much of an active game. It's going to be a little bit more passive, right? Both teams going to be farming. You might see heroes. Maybe this is a little advanced, but heroes with really good night vision could potentially be pretty valuable here because you could gank during nighttime without a smoke. You don't have to depend on a smoke, but you could still make some nice gank. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting that both teams chose it. I think maybe one team thought we're going to get an advantage over them because they're not going to pick it, and
so they both had to spend a token on that or whatever. They both had to.
Yeah, 2 out of their 5.
Okay.
All right, and so
they're saving 3 spies each.
Correct. And so that covers the sabotages. Let's look at how these teams can earn more contracts back. Earn more spies back. Contracts. So we're actually going to start with the 3 contracts that both teams selected. We will start with the 2 ones that were in every single match in SEA. One of these 2 was in every single SEA match. First up, 3K behavior score. Anytime a member on your team dies, they must all chat blaming their own team. So if you die, yes, while you're dead waiting for respawn, you have to all chat a flame to your own team. However, both teams selected 3K behavior score and its complement 11K behavior score, which means that anytime a member of your team dies, they must all chat complimenting the enemy for their fantastic Dota. And so we're going to see a bunch of great all chats from both teams. They must, every time they die, they must make an all chat or they will fail the contract and receive the spy penalty. In addition to both of those all chat ones, both teams also selected, I can't find it now because I am blind. Where did it go? There we go, I have found it. Both teams have selected Counter-Strike. So, if you've played Counter-Strike, it makes a bit of sense. Both teams have selected the opportunity to take an iron branch, place it anywhere on the enemy's side of the river, and announce in all chat that the bomb has been planted. The opposing team then has 10 minutes to find the branch, pick it up or destroy it, and announce that the bomb has been defused. Doing this in 10 minutes grants them, the opposing team's spies. If the team doesn't find it, then you've completed the contract and you get the spies. And so
That's hilarious. That's amazing.
it's a fun little contract. And so those are the 3 that both teams have selected. We're also going to take a look at what Radiant selected. They selected 2 additional contracts. Let's keep in mind that any contracts that are failed incur a spy penalty. However, you do not have to win to receive the spies. Radiant selected 1 for each foot. Any player on your team must buy 2 sets of brown boots. The boots cannot be sold, but they can be upgraded. And we also had a clarification in the SEA bracket. They can also be thrown into your backpack or dropped on the floor, but you have to buy them and you cannot get your money back. And then the final contract selected by the Radiant. For 4 whole spies, a player on your team must rush a Dagon, only buying brown boots and regen before completing the Dagon. So those are all the contracts in play. This is quite a crowded match. SEA had only ever had, I think, 2 per team. So Radiant being the Goblin Town Truckers, they are trying to pad their pockets early in this match. What do you guys think now that we've seen it all together? What are your thoughts with all these contracts and sabotages and rules in place?
I'm really excited to see how teams take advantage of certain contracts. Like it's time to be really creative, right? Like I'm going to see if the bomb has been planted, that Counter-Strike one, how that one's going to go. That one seemed hilarious to me.
I feel like that one actually will become harder now that they can't use Smoke of Deceit.
Yeah.
Because you'd want to smoke, put it in a place where they definitely can't find you, and now they can't. So, you can just put the wards up. You can't deward either. That's one of the rules, right? There's no...
Yes, no dewarding of enemy wards.
So that's going to be even harder to actually plant the bomb because they might have vision of you, and you can't smoke, you can't deward. So I think the bomb may be found if they go for that. That should be interesting.
All right. Well, our pre-draft activities have completed. Yeah. We have jumped into the draft, and so I will step aside and leave you in the ever-capable hands of our 2 casters for this first EU match, Rallying Cry and Shani. Take it away.
All right, sounds good. Rallying Cry, do you know where we can see like a list of the contracts while we look at this draft here?
I will make a note that's in the staff updates channel.
Okay.
I've just been writing them down on a piece of paper as we've gone through and trying to remember. It'll be in that channel. We can have a look later.
Are you picking me up in game as well? Because I
yes, I am
in game,
now.
But I want to make sure that I don't hear you twice. Okay, awesome.
How do I mute you in game? We'll work this out.
You can just what you can do. You just go to settings and then turn your audio like voice all the way down. That
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so for Radiant contracts, right, we got the Counter-Strike contract where they have to plant a tree, 3k behavior score where they've got to flame the enemy, and their own
team. Yeah.
And 11k when they got to compliment the enemy team, and 1 for each foot. What is 1 for each foot again? Which one's that?
I think that's where a player has to buy 2 pairs of boots.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
And they can't get rid of those boots. They can upgrade them. They can. I think last game I saw a disruptor that had both tranquils and arcane boots. That was in the SEA game, which is not too bad for a support. I guess you can go travels and treads as well.
So is that for one specific hero or is that for the entire team?
I believe that's for one specific hero.
Correct.
Okay, so we might expect to see treads travels on a core.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the most practical ways to approach boots late game, at least. Yeah. All right, so great. So let's get into the draft. Yeah. What do you think about the first couple picks that we see here?
Well, they've picked them very quickly.
Right.
I've casted a few in-houses myself, and it tends to be the first picks take up quite a lot of time with burning into a minute of reserve time. They've gone for well, I'm assuming support picks, but obviously Pugna Morana could be mid. I can't see any obvious strategy come out straight away. You pick Grimstroke, but you haven't got a combo with him. You've got Disruptor Pugna. They're not really a common duo. So, they've left their draft quite a mystery at the moment.
Right. So Pugna, do you expect to see the Pugna mid, offlane? Where do you expect to see this?
I think Pugna's quite a good pick because he's good in multiple roles. Well, at least POS 4 and POS 2, I'd say. Even POS 3 Pugna could work. So I think they're just going to wait and see. if there's a hero that needs countering, or whether he'll do mid. I think there's this rule in place where they can't step foot in the river. I think Pugner's a hero who might want to be going for the runes. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he wants to be pushing the tower, and he can't push the enemy tower if he can't get across the river.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Maybe not Pugner mid then.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking at Dire's first two picks they're opening here with Grim and Mirana. You didn't see these heroes often together because Grim's ulti has people rely on single target abilities to synergize with him. But you never know. Like, that's the beauty of Dota, is that maybe Grimstroke will put his E on Mirana and she can leap in, and if she's really strong, or maybe they aren't going to lane together at all. I expect this to be a Grimstroke 5 and maybe a Mirana 4. But again, Mirana could pretty much go anywhere still.
I think this is a standard way to draft. I don't know if these teams have any experience drafting, but you tend to draft captain's mode in the same order you do all pick, which I think can be a bit of a mistake, but you go support, pos 3, pos 1, pos 2. That's usually what happens. So that's why I'm just guessing you're going to have a pos 4 Mirana, a pos 4 Pugner. But they could surprise us. We'll see. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes we see those versatile picks being picked up first so that they can sort of change them how they see fit, depending on if they get countered or not. Like, sometimes, if you pick a hero that's, you think could be a core or support, but then it gets countered, you let it be a support rather than a core.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, Pugner and Mirana are flexible enough, so I think they're good. Whereas Disruptor and Grimstroke are most definitely going to be in some support role.
100%. So since teams cannot use smoke, that's for the entire game, right?
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, so maybe it's time to think about that's why I like this Mirana pick actually a lot because she has her ulti, so it's kind of like a miniature smoke, right? Like, she can make her whole team invisible, so they don't need to depend on smoke to make these ganks. So that's a cool pick. I wonder if they're keeping that in mind.
Yeah, I think that does make a lot of sense. I've just had a realization about one of the rules in place. You're not allowed to deward the enemy observer wards, but you can still see them. If you put a sentry and you see the ward, you can't deward it, but you still know it's there. So, for example, now they've just picked up Zeus. If he bolts an area, he goes, "Oh, there's a ward there. Okay, we know that. We can't do anything about it," which is quite irritating, but it's some information at least.
Yeah, no, and absolutely, they can not play in those areas, right? Like, Zeus can, every time Zeus presses his ult, he's able to see the vision on the map, so he can notify his team where he feels he wants to play around.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got some new picks here with the Axe, Zeus, and Pang. So for Axe, this is going to be their initiator. It seems like they're really going to depend on him to make these plays. If he's not going to get that blink call off, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to fight. They do have the catch from Disruptor and damage from the backline with the Zeus, but so far, what do you think of Radiant's draft?
I think it's fairly early game and aggressive, and I think the Dire might struggle to push into it early. If they're standing by your tower, they're taking your tier 2, Pugner's just spamming blasts on it. Anyone who comes remotely near them is going to take 400 plus magic damage to the face from Zeus. And then if you do end up diving them, Axe is ready to go. Disruptor's got some very good abilities, send people back, put them in the static storm.
Yeah.
I think they could almost win just by forcing their way into towers early and preparing for a fight. Well, of course, we've got a couple picks left. And I'm assuming Zeus is going to be in the mid lane.
Yeah. No, normally I don't like Jug versus Axe just because, that blink call blade mail can be so devastating against a Jug. And the fact that the call goes through spin. But I feel like Dire definitely needed a hero that can go magic immune and kind of frontline here. What do you think? Like, because they've got so much magical damage on the side of Radiant that they kind of need a hero that doesn't rely on mobility, because you've got Mirana and Pango, right? If they're in static storm, they're pretty much dead. So I feel like they needed a hero like Jug, so I like that pick.
I like Jug as well, just in general, as a general rule. I feel like he can struggle a little bit against Pugner. Of course, like, for example, Pugner's really fast, and Decrepify means straight away they have a counter to Omnislash. Of course, the Jug will try and play around that and be careful who he chooses to Omnislash, but I think that's always a bit of a struggle, playing Jug against a Pugner. Maybe he'll go for a Nullifier, maybe it won't matter. We're just going to have to see how it plays out. But that's my only concern with the Juggernaut pick.
Right.
I think the healing ward is good against Zeus, though.
You're all good. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So for this last pick, right? What does Radiant need and what does Dire need?
Well, Radiant, I believe they need some sort of hard carry,
Right.
unless they're running some strange Pugna 1 and they really want to put turn the speed up on this game. So they're going to need a hard carry. So expect Dire have seen that and they're starting to ban like anti-mage, etc. Dire, it looks like they're looking for a mid because we're assuming it's going to be Pango pos 3, Jug pos 1. So they've left their mid pick till last. I am really not a fan of picking Zeus before seeing the other mid because I believe Zeus can be very easily countered. Just in general.
Can you give some examples of some heroes, just so that we all know like what you mean?
Well, actually, I've almost changed my mind straight away because I've just realized they can't go through the river, right? So Zeus is just going to be standing far back.
Queuing
okay, he can't pick up the but he can't pick up the runes, so that is a disadvantage for Zeus. Until the 10 minutes. For example, you see Zeus. Zeus is one of his problems is he struggles to farm as fast as the other mids. You pick a nice safe. You pick someone like Templar Assassin mid, for example. Zeus can't get through the refraction so easily. TA is going to obliterate the creep wave, farm way faster than you. Zeus dies to her late game as well. Or you pick Storm Spirit mid. Storm Spirit can suffer against Zeus a little bit, take a lot of harassment, but as soon as Storm is 6, he can just kill Zeus over and over. I've seen it happen. Even the safest and most defensive Zeus players.
That's a rough matchup.
Even Ember Spirit, a good Ember Spirit player, anyone who can get on top of Zeus easily will kill Zeus. Right? Zeus has got a lot of burst, but once he's used all his spells, he's pretty much free kill. So
absolutely.
that's why I'm worried. But maybe they think, it's fine. Zeus can stand on his side of the river, bolting everything. He's going to be fine. He's going to get levels. So yeah, if they've thought about that, then I like it.
Yeah. Just a reminder that, the fact that you can't stand in the river 10 minutes, you definitely don't want to send a melee hero mid like you mentioned. It's pretty unplayable.
Yeah, impossible pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, so this Death Prophet pick. So what do you think about that as a response to the Zeus pick mid? Do you feel that DP will be able to pressure the Zeus? What do you think?
No, I don't think so. I just feel like because you cannot go into the river, yes, you can right-click Zeus with your 600 range on DP, or I think it's 600. You can't take the tower on DP. That's another problem, right? If Zeus goes to another lane or something, you just can't use your ult. So I think the mid lane is... I felt like they could have been greedier and picked heroes who can farm. DP can farm a bit, but again, it's almost on the same level as Zeus. It's not that fast. You have to spam a lot of mana to kill a camp. So I would, if I was drafting, I would have taken Magnus, for example, and just obliterated the jungle in between the creep waves.
Yeah.
But they're both going to be safe. They're both going to get farm, is my guess.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was thinking even, I don't know if... The thing with Storm is that he is another hero. Like, I noticed that Radiant banned Quap. Again, like, I don't know how good Quap would have been mid because of not being able to get runes. But again, if it's not for the other mid either, it's like you're going to see a lot of clarities being brought out, a lot of mangoes to sustain the mana pools of their mid.
I mean, yeah, they can still buy a bottle and they can still bottle the bounty runes.
Right.
But I feel like they should not buy one. It's not going to be worth it when you absolutely know you cannot pick up the runes.
Right.
I guess if they drafted Pudge, they'd have free rune control for quite a long time because you just hook the rune. No one else can go in the river. So that's free runes guaranteed for 10 minutes. But yeah, maybe that's a little bit out of the box thinking.
I can't wait. These contracts, such a cool idea. All right, so let's get into it. I'll just introduce Radiant, and then you want to do Dire?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So we got this Morphling on Radiant going up to their offlane, trucker.net. Got Axe that can apparently bench press 175 and wants the world to know that. Ankley on Pugna. Disruptor is Roxy Roro, and we've got another truckers.net on Zeus. So yeah, awesome. You want to go ahead and take a look at Dire?
All right. In the safe lane, We have this Juggernaut Grimstroke combo. They've already leveled their spells, so they're ready for that level 1 Demon on the Grimstroke. TA mid or feed, even though he's not playing TA, he's playing Juggernaut in the safe lane. You've got Decayer on Pango in the bottom lane with JK. Is that how he wants his name to be pronounced? Who will know? They've got Mirana Pangolea. I think that lane can do fairly well. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And Schwepsi Kola playing the Death Prophet in mid lane, so he's going to have to deal with a Zeus. But at least he knows the Zeus can't deward him, so that's always a benefit.
So, I bet these were not the lanes that you had in mind when this game had started. Do you think these are the lanes they're committing to, or they're just seeing runes and try to feel them out for a bit?
I definitely think the Dyer's one makes sense, right? You've got Juggernaut, Grimstroke, safe
For
lane,
sure.
Pang off lane, fine. But you're right, we've got Pugna, and is this going to be Pugna and Axe in the safe lane? I feel like there's a bit of anti-synergy there, potentially. You don't want to decrepify a target because then they can't hit you. Morphling in the off lane, I wonder if it's because they're thinking about Jug. They know Jug is a painful person to lane against. Maybe Axe said, I can't do Jug. He's just going to spin on me. It hurts too much. We'll put our ranged hero with an escape ability. You can just waveform the Inkswell. Whereas obviously we've got Zeus mid. So I think the swap makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think with Dota, there are certain heroes counter certain heroes, but not necessarily across the entire game. Like Jug does fairly well against Axe in the beginning. It's just a matter of later in the game that when Axe gets that blink in blade mail where it can turn a bit. But like you said, with Pugna and Axe having that anti-synergy, there are ways they can make it work. I agree that it's a bit awkward, but I think they could decrepify and battle hunger, and then Axe can use that decreased movement speed to catch up and get that call and counter helix off. So that won't be till later, but there are ways that they can produce kill threats on Radiant, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think Pugna's is a good lane here anyway. He's got 630 attack range. His 5 int gain means that given a couple levels, he will get a lot of damage. 4 armor, 350 move speed. He's just a solid hero to have in your lane. Nether Blast is always going to do decent damage. So yeah, I can definitely see them doing okay. I mean, Pango and Mirana, they're not a massive threat. They don't have a lot of kill potential. So I think the Axe is going to get... You can already see he's CSing fine in the bot lane. It's a nice, easy start for him.
Yeah. So just taking a preview of each lane. Looks like mid. Yeah, no one's touching the river. So yeah, Zeus is fairly standard stuff, right? Zeus queuing each wave, DP standing back, using her Q. I think mid will be fairly passive. I don't think too much will happen mid. They'll just probably trade last hits. What do you think the lane is to look at? Where do you think there's going to be the most kill threat?
Well, I would have said the Juggernaut lane, though of course I don't think you're going to get an easy kill into Morphling, because Inkswell does stun, but of course it takes time to stun, so Morphling has loads of time to morph strength or to waveform.
Right.
Maybe if Roxy Roarer gets caught out, that might be a kill. And bot lane might have quite a lot of harassment. You've got Mirana, Pango, Pugno, etc. But I don't think any lane has an immediate, obvious, this is the lane with the kills. So I guess I'm just going to be bouncing back and forth between top and bottom and seeing if anything happens.
Yeah, no, I think, I agree. I think that Jug and Grim can kill this disruptor if he's not too careful, right? Like that.
Even now, maybe look. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He
was pretty far up. Yeah. This Grim has to regen a little bit so that they don't trade a death, because they don't really want to kill the disruptor and then have their Grim die. Like they want to get really favorable trades here where Morphling's not getting XP for these kills. Looks like Disruptor's going on some kind of mission here. Is this to kill couriers? What are we looking at here? Is he planting this tree that no one's going to notice? Oh yeah, he is.
Yes, he is. He has to announce it now, though. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at, if we swap the vision to what the Dire can see. Dire, they have no idea that he's there, do they? Oh, I see a ping. Oh, it's your ping, isn't it?
So no, it's Asterisk. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean that's.
They don't know he's there. They don't know he's there. But now they do, because he walked straight past the outpost and they've pinged it. So so they know he can't be far. Okay, we can see it. We can see it there. Obviously, you don't plant the tree. You have to drop the branch, otherwise the branch will disappear.
Right.
But they've got quite a long time. But do you want to waste time trying to find it? I don't know.
Yeah, so remind us what happens if there's a successful bomb that's been planted. Like, like if it doesn't get defused.
So you get 3 spies ready
get
for the
3
next
spies,
game.
yeah.
And if they find it, they get 3 spies. So it's in both teams' interest to try and find it now.
Right,
It's setting up for you to create a bigger advantage for the next game.
Yeah.
So I feel like he shouldn't have walked past the outpost, but otherwise it's it's right near the mid lane. But are you ever going to walk through there? Maybe if you take the hard camp. I don't know.
So he has to place it on their side of the map, right? Or
yeah, I think that's the rules. So you can't. Otherwise, you just put it in your base.
put it in your fountain. Okay, great. Cool. So just gonna take a look at the last hits and see how the lanes are doing. Like we kind of guessed, mid's pretty much even. DP's getting a little bit more denies over there. Okay, so the Morphling compared to the Jug, again, is about even. I think our lanes are pretty even. What would you say?
Yeah, if you look at the CS, it's pretty straightforward across the board. They're very even. I know this is early game. Any kill or death will definitely change the lane dynamics. Someone in chat has said, are they not allowed to take bounty runes? Well, runes in the river. No, they can't go in the river at all. So the runes, they're just going to sit there and go to waste, basically.
Right.
But yeah, I think, lanes are even so far. I feel like this is going to be quite a passive early game until someone hits level 6 first and then goes in and gets a kill. Jug hits 6, he just omni slashes the disruptor. That's what I feel like is going to happen.
Yeah, that seems right. So Dire has vision of this regen rune, but they'll just have to look at it. They will not be able to grab it. So we do have bounties coming up right now. So we'll see how the teams react to this. It looks like Disruptor might be heading there. Again, this Disruptor's pretty low on mana. He's only got mana for a Thunderstrike here. No, sorry, not a Thunderstrike, for a Kinetic Field. So he's a potential target here. Jug on full mana. I think Dire's ready to make a play. But again, they don't have to in farm.
I feel like if I was Dire, I'd want to be using my cooldowns and mana just a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, if you've got
absolutely.
full mana Grimstroke, just
Yeah.
fire out a few strokes of fate on the Disruptor. Otherwise, you're just kind of sitting with it, not using it. Spin,
100%.
even if the Morphling has to run away, it's fine. You'll regen.
Yeah. And I think one of the things you want to do against a Morphling in lane is you kind of want to make sure you pressure him, right? Because if he's on this full agi, he's going to hit so hard getting these creeps. It's really hard to contest last hits, but the more strength you make him morph, the tougher it is for him to last hit. So if this Grimstroke kind of puts a Q on him and ease the Juggernaut and they go in, even if they don't kill him, it adds a lot of pressure to the lane. Okay, our first kill.
Grabs the first kill on the Pango.
Yep.
So yeah, Zeus might be a passive mid, but at least he's got some global presence.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's the the positive 11k behavior score.
Nice.
I guess me being British, I just think everything is automatically sarcastic, but I can't interpret it that way. It's 100% sincere.
I must say, it's not often that you see that type of smiley face with the equal sign. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And yeah, so.
But that's part of it.
Right,
Trying to be creative with your compliments.
Cool. So so look like Dire making a play, right? So Jug is spinning onto this Morphling. The silence on Grim did come out after the Strength Morph came, so nothing too crazy. Not going to cause a kill here, but they are forcing Morphling to react, like we talked about. One thing that's kind of interesting is that Radiant don't have Magic Sticks top, and Dire do, so I think that they're going to be able to sustain themselves a little bit better so far. But we can definitely check out some other lanes. It's just we knew this is the lane to where the most action is going to take place.
I mean, I don't know why you'd need Magic Sticks if the enemy team just never cast their spells, which seems to be the case in the top lane.
That's a 5-head play, yeah.
They've
Maybe
probably
they
only
just do that.
cast like 2 or 3 spells, whereas Disruptor is Thunderstrike, Thunderstrike, Thunderstrike.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fine. I mean, Jug does actually. Oh no, Jug we have. Morphling's got nothing. He's got it in his quick buy, so he's thinking about a Magic Stick.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have one just yet.
Right.
Ooh, we got Death Prophet rotating to the bot lane, or she's just wandering around. Realizes that it's so hard to create a gank when you can't go through the river. You have to go through the tower, and you can't even smoke. So ganking is pretty much impossible. But in two minutes time, then we can get those ganks going.
I'm trying to think if there's if there's a hero who can. Oh, she wants it. She wants. But you know, I'm trying to think if there's a hero that can be in the river but not be in the river. You know, I'm thinking like
like that rider, you mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, like kind of
flying
like
over the river.
If an Ember Spirit could like, I don't know, somehow sleight of fist and grab the rune at the same time, but he's still technically in the river. But yeah, it's hard to think of a hero.
Yeah, I just wonder if flying above the river counts. That's the only way I can see. I mean, if you're Storm Spirit, you can easily zip through the rune.
True.
But does that count as being in the river? I mean, he's in the river, but he is.
I think
lightning.
so. Yeah.
I think you're in the river. You're in the river. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I like the idea of trying to like, game the rules. I think see Morphling is fine. He's in no danger.
Yeah. So this Grim, right? He's making some stacks. He does get a double stack on both of these camps here. He is getting very close to that bomb that's been planted. He is taking the time to have a look. He's going in the wrong direction. He's getting a little bit colder here. Wow,
no idea.
This is brutal to watch.
Wait,
that's tough.
You should use. Oh, there's another kill from the Zeus, but they might get the Pugna bot. Yeah, double kill for them. In fact, the Zeus ult came out, but didn't actually kill either of them. Yeah, just a good level 6 play from Decayer.
Yeah.
What I was saying about the bomb is surely.
There's that flame.
Yeah, where's the compliment? I can't. You could use your courier surely to try and find the branch. Just throw it around the trees. It's got not a lot of vision, but better than nothing.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly.
We're running out of time. Oh, the river is unlocked. Looks like there might be a kill in the top lane. Roxy Aurora being chased. He's finally allowed into the river. Oh, yeah, there's the Omni Slash.
There's the Omni Slash comes out and Disruptor's down. Yeah. So, you know what's interesting is like these contracts, right? You have to decide what is worth drafting for. You know, like the bomb has been planted, that contract, that's CS. Oh, yeah.
Axe may go down.
He's running.
He's got the phase boots. He's fairly fast. When's the next swashbuckle? There it is. The heal was just a little bit too late from Pugna. Oh, Pugna's way too speedy.
Yeah.
Oh, but he comes back in invis. He doesn't realize. He forgot about him. Short memory span, but it doesn't matter. He's just going to throw out the life train. Actually going to get the kill? No, not quite. He's waiting. Another swashbuckle is at the ready. Does he have a javelin? He does. Nice arrow. In fact, if he stayed, he could have got the kill. But Mirana can't.
Oh, no mana for Starfall.
What is going on down here? Was this a branch planted? I see demon wandering around. Okay.
This is when I just pick, you know, some position 5 bat right here. Just cut all the trees down.
Yeah.
You get it.
The bomb's gonna go off in about a minute and a half, I think.
Yeah. So Radiant, I mean, Dire hasn't placed their bomb, right? Like,
unless that's what Demon was trying to do just there.
Okay.
But I don't see any notification that it happened.
Right.
Maybe he knew he was seeing. Oh, they're going on more.
Dire making a play on top lane. Grimstroke onto the Morph.
Morphing is silenced, but now he's not, so he'll be fine. Well, looks like we're missing some action bot as well. Death Prophet ult and Pango ult. They managed to find the axe.
Yeah.
Pugna wasn't there, so it was a 3 versus 1.
There's that flame. Such beautiful.
Is that a compliment? That's a nice
arrow. On the Pugna. Arrow on the Pugna.
Oh, just misses the Starstorm range. We've already got a Yule's up. Oh, that's on a Death Prophet, of course.
So, one kind of cool interaction there is, so Yule's does dispel the Ghost Scepter, but Pango's Q actually does not go through Ghost Scepter. And sorry, I should say Decrepify. So, just something interesting, the way that Swashbuckle works. He is able to use Swashbuckle if he's disarmed, but he won't be able to damage ethereal targets.
But surely some of the Javelin will go through it, or does that not?
Oh, that's a
damage?
good question. It is
Oh,
magical
he's got
damage,
to the
right?
top
So
lane.
it should. Oh,
He's
yeah.
been ulted, and the Jug will find that solo kill. Yeah, I'd have thought that Javelin would pierce
That would make sense, yeah.
Ghost Scepter, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it goes, well, Swashbuckle is a physical attack and therefore cannot even target a Ghost Scepter target, an ethereal target. Maybe that's the
Right.
rule? I don't know.
Yeah, I've just been doing some research on Pango. There's a bunch of stuff like that.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yeah.
Demon's going again. I don't know if he's still trying to plant his bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, he's TPing
Oh.
out now. He keeps going there. Okay. Bomb has been
The
planted.
bomb has been planted.
Ah, but it's Mirana who...
Maybe
You
Observer
said
can
it.
help us out here. Where was it
Yeah.
planted?
So does the person who plants the bomb have to be the one to say it, or is it going to be anyone on the team? Maybe there was a bit of... they're trying to confuse them. That's why the Grimstroke went so far. But anyway, the bomb should have gone off. This bomb's gone. They didn't find it, so that's some
Yeah.
guaranteed spies.
But Mirana did announce that the bomb... Okay, arrow onto Axe. Looks like Axe is down.
Wow, these arrows have been landing pretty much
Yeah.
non-stop.
Yeah. Some more good flames coming out. So, question in chat. So, yeah, can they pull creeps and use a sentry? Creep kills the word.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty
an
smart.
interesting idea. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
you could, actually.
Yeah.
But you can't use like a Necrobook or Illusions or...
Some action developing.
oh, great Static Storm, but
yeah.
then the huge arrow.
Yeah, I mean, the arrows... They've been very helpful, but
JK
even
with
that
the
arrow couldn't get Pango out of that.
homing Sacred Arrow, so he's got...
Yeah,
he
yeah.
just throws them, they just happen to hit no matter what.
Yeah, he's playing Gyro.
Yeah, homing arrow.
Okay, so just as a reminder, like it has been 5 minutes since that mark where both teams can now go through the river. So river is fair game.
Yeah.
We do see a shovel in Juggernaut's backpack. Maybe he's just BMing the Grimstroke, but that would probably be better. In okay, so he is gonna dig in between cooldowns. It looks like. Here,
I think you should just give it, shouldn't you, to someone who doesn't have one?
Yeah, I would tend to agree, but Juggernaut's being a bit greedy, so.
The cooldown is a lot longer in the backpack, so...
Yeah, absolutely. So an important timing come. Another arrow hits onto Axe, but it's not going to turn into a kill here. But one thing that's interesting is that we are getting close to that Blink Dagger on Axe, which is going to be, I think, the first big timing we're going to see on both teams as far as items are concerned. We did see that Maelstrom on Pango being picked up, and as far as damage, but as far as initiation is concerned, I think that Blink on Axe is going to really change the game.
Yes, I agree. I think the Dire, they're going to be relying on the Moonlight Shadow and these arrows in order to get their engage, and Pango, finding in a target to hit with Rolling Thunder. They don't have a Blink Call equivalent, so they're going to have to rely on the Moonlight Shadow.
Right.
They're pinging Morphling. They know he's there. They don't have the resources to go on him just yet.
Just cutting in for a second, because I can't quite tell. We've located the bomb. It's over here. Does this ward see this? I can't quite figure out.
I have a bug where I can't toggle Radiant and Dire Vision, so I would need help from the Observer to
Okay,
tell
I can
if they-
I can
yeah.
toggle it. Yeah, I think I can see it. Yeah, I can see the Iron Branch with Radiant Vision.
Oh. Yes, but that's Dire. Dire needs to get rid of that. Oh, no, Dire
Oh.
planted that. Oh, yeah, that's awkward.
And Radiant can see it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
Mirana
pretty
placed it with Leap,
Yeah.
and now they need to... Well, they know it's there. Well, they could know it's there. They have vision of it, but have they paid attention?
Right. Because as much as they would like, that Iron Branch is not going to show up on the minimap.
This Zeus is 6-0, he's got his travels already.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's pretty huge. Is he top net worth as well? Yes, he is. Pretty comfortably as well.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 attacks and Pango's half HP. Brutal. Level 15 on the Zeus. Who's the next highest level? 13 on the Death Prophet, and then it's 11 on the Morphling. So he's in a strong spot right now.
And check out Morphling's items. Look at this. E-Blade coming
Oh, wow.
up.
He's pretty close to E-Blade.
Yeah. Flaming is just, it's somehow not as bad when...
But it's allowed. Axe is blinked in mid lane.
There you go. go.
But he gets hit by the
Arrow
arrow.
comes
Do they have the damage? Wow, Zeus ult. It's hitting hard. Some TP's in, but it's a little bit late. Well, they do actually manage to pick up 2 kills. Do they have the resources to kill Zeus now? Another arrow. I mean, it's just endless.
Yeah. Just as a fellow Mirana player, it is really nice to play against heroes that commit to staying still, like Pugna.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's nice. It's also, of course, nice when you've got stuns on your team, but any spells that make people walk in a predictable way is really nice. So even Death Prophet, when you're chasing someone down with ghosts, they don't really have time to juke, right? Because the ghosts track you, so they tend to just run in a straight direction. So it's really nice playing Mirana. When you got that going for you. Okay, so
he also
DD
chose to max the Sacred Arrow. Oh, there's
Yeah,
3
so-
heroes have run into Death Prophet.
Yeah.
Disrupt ulti's gone down. He does get the ult off on DP. He's healing quite a lot with the Spirit Siphon. Huge damage coming up from Death Prophet. I don't think they have the means to take her down. And Shwepsikola is going to get a double kill. 3 of them dead already. They're now onto the Morphling. They've disarmed him. They've not silenced him though, so he can still get away. Yeah, he immediately disjoints the Omni Slash. Roxy's going to get brought down. That's a 4-man wipe, and they still have some time on Exorcism.
Yeah, that's an insane fight. I mean, that's a DP's dream, right? It's just a fight ending right next to a tower when she's still got ulti. I mean, that's gotta feel good.
They even sort of found her, didn't they? Like 3 of them walked into her, and they still couldn't bring her down.
Yeah, you know, it was just like, it's just a specific timing where Pango is pretty durable, right? He's got this hood. He's doing tons of damage with the Maelstrom. DP just got the Spirit Siphons out, so they weren't able to burst her. And then once you don't burst the DP and this Pango all roaming around, they just couldn't commit to anyone, right? Like, it was just tough. And the people that they could kill were so far behind the DP, and they were nicely positioned, that it was just tough for Radiant to make a play there.
I think DP might want to think about picking up a neutral item if there's one available.
Yeah, those help. Okay, so Axe making a play on Mirana. That's down.
Quick kill there.
Yeah.
DP's almost caught up in net worth to the Zeus. So it was a really good fight for her.
As far as Roche potential is concerned, I would say Dire's got a little bit of a stronger Roche lineup, but also, I mean, Radiant can also take it with the high damage from Morph, but Jug's Healing Ward and DP's Exorcism, I would say, is probably favorable in the Roche pit. If a Roche fight does ever break out, Dire's, I think, comes out ahead.
Yes, I agree.
with
If they've already
Pango.
committed Exorcism,
Yeah.
then the Roche is yours, really. You don't want to fight into that.
I think what's kind of interesting is going to be that Roche time where Jug can pick up in Ages. He's going to be spin hitting this tower with the DP with Exorcism. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to deal with that. It's going to be interesting to see how Radiant deal with that.
I think now that we've got someone's brought to our attention that the Pugna has a Dagon, he's gone for the
Oh yeah, that's the contract. Yeah.
that required contract. Yeah, boots Dagon, and on any hero, Pugna's a really good choice. Oh, all 3 leaps used by Mirana, but still goes down.
Yeah.
That was what, 3 attacks? E-Blade, Adaptive Strike, and Thunder God's Wrath.
Yeah. Zeus chasing this Grim here. Looks like Grim's gonna go down.
Yeah, Zeus went Yasha after his boots of travel, so he is fast.
Yeah, look how fast he's
500.
moving. He's going 502. It's ridiculous.
I guess, yeah, going Kaya and Yasha straight after you've got the travels and the Aetherlands. They are going to find a kill in Death Prophet bot lane. Shwepsikola not going to get out of this.
Yeah. Wow, is Yasha this 5-head play from him? I mean, like, the fact that Kaya doesn't give that mana loss reduction anymore, right? So, it's not as good as it used to be for heroes like Zeus. And, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem that professional. I'm sorry, it doesn't seem, that was reading chat. It doesn't seem that bad, right? Like, it's so interesting. Like a hero like Zeus, like what does a hero like Zeus need, right? He needs mobility because he's so easily taken down, but he becomes a race car and sort of builds his own mobility. So
Yeah, he had a buff in the last patch to move up to 310 base move speed, which is a lot for a ranged hero. He's then taken the 25 move speed talent, you know, throw travels and Yasha on top of that, and this is like a permanent haste hero, or very close to it. You can run away from Death Prophet with that. I mean, Death Prophet's got only Yules to increase their move speed.
Yeah.
Does Exorcism give move speed? I think it does, yeah, 18%, so she does get quite a lot from her ult, but, you know, good luck trying to catch up to the Zeus, even you've got no blink stuns on your team.
Yeah. You know, what is really cool is, like, both teams really have a shot to win this game because they can enable this axe with the static storm on top of him, and they can just blow up even heroes like DP and Jug who are hard to bring down. That's enough damage often because they got the Zeus behind them to follow up, right? Decrep with, you know, you got the E-Blade coming in, you've got all the damage from Zeus, static storm. I mean, they can blow up heroes on the side of Radiant, whereas Dire, they've got sort of these like longer, they kind of want these longer fights, whereas Radiant want these shorter fights. So it's going to be interesting to see how that develops. Kind of both teams wanting very different kinds of fights.
Yes, and I agree that when you said anyone can win this game, I think both teams have the team fight potential. I feel like Radiant have an easier time because they've got Axe Blink and, you know, Static Storm, etc., E-Blades, Global, Zeus ult. They have an easier time getting pickoffs than the Dire, even if the Dire have a 5k gold lead at the moment. So I think Radiant should really play to that advantage. We've got Blink cool, the other team don't. Let's try and get some kills. I mean, they can blow up anyone with their combos. So I want to see them really capitalize off the E-Blade from Morphling. It pretty much one-shots the support the second you purchase it, so... Pugna's being spun on.
Yeah.
That did no damage. The Maelstrom didn't even hit Pugna from the Swashbuckle. Wow, committing a full Omni Slash, but it does get the kill, so... Can't complain. I see Yule's just gone onto Roxy, and he's definitely going to be brought down. So, 2 more kills for the Dire.
Do they transition this into Roche?
Oh, this is greedy. This Morphling's still farming. I lost my team, but screw you guys. I'm still going to farm. He does actually morph into strength in time, but... Wow, that's a lot of damage. Axe might have thrown his life in, but they do get a couple of kills there. I think Zeus is finally going to be brought down. He is speedy. Oh, or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. No, they find him with the Yule Scepter.
Gonna go down.
They did kill Jug, though. That's a pretty big kill.
Grim. No.
Oh, do they have the means to bring down the Morphling? Not quite. Oh, that was an interesting fight. A bit of back and forth there. Who came out ahead of that?
You know, it is... Look at this Pugna, dude. He's handling all these contracts. He went to Dagon Rush. He's got the one for each foot. He's owning.
Yeah, he's building up his team for the next game.
No, I love this decision to do it on the Pugna, right? Because, I mean, this hero... he's got a good kit. I feel like, you know, Life Train, Decrep, it's... His E is always good. It doesn't matter how much farm he has. His E does not scale at all with farm, right? So, yeah. Just placing that is going to do a lot. Okay, so wow, look at this. He's got 2 Tranquil Boots. And this is actually a play, right? Like, this is actually something you do on Pugna. The thing is one for each foot. Does it matter if they're 2 different kinds of boots, or do they have to, or it's okay to be the same one?
I think it just has to be 2 different boots, right? You have to have 2 boots, sorry, not 2 different boots.
Okay,
so,
good.
And I was actually thinking the same thing in the drafting phase. Well, multiple Tranquil Boots Pugna, that was a thing for a while. It gives you so much health regen, so you can just spam your life away into your allies. So, yeah, I think that's a good hero to put it on.
Yeah. I remember Jenkins doing a video on, like, on the double Tranquil Boots thing, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's actually a thing.
It never occurred to me that you could get that 14 health regen twice. That's a lot of health regen.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Tranquil Boots is always... Tranquil Boots, I don't know if they were there when I started Dota. I think they are relatively, like, a new type of boot in terms of, like... I know there aren't new boots, but you know what I mean. Like, as far as them being implemented into Dota, it's so broken on paper. Like that item seems ridiculous on paper. Like when you're not taking damage, you regen that much. But then the opportunity costs for boots are just so high that if you're going tranquils, you're not going treads and you're not going arcanes or phase. So kind of just these different kinds of boots are pretty interesting in Dota.
Tranquils, it wasn't in the game when I first started playing in 2011, but it was introduced quite quickly after that. But it has gone through quite a lot of revisions in terms of what attack breaks it, what doesn't break it, how much health regen it gave, how much move speed it gives. They fairly recently made it so when you lose, when the effect of the boots is disabled, when it's broken, your move speed goes right back down to 45 bonus speed. I think it used to be a bit more lenient than that at some point.
And you used to not be able to attack. Like attacking it would cancel it as well.
Yes, and now it depends on when you attack a hero or are attacked by any unit. So as long as if you're attacking creeps, it's fine. As long as they're not hitting you back.
So Zeus letting his team know, letting Dire know that they're ready to go. Dire needs a second though.
Okay, I think with the Juggernaut was disconnected, but he has come back. There's a lot of Radiant wards on the map. See 5 wards on their side of the map?
I just want to say quickly, I'm just really impressed with how these contracts are working out. The organization to host a tournament like this is really impressive. I mean, it's hard to do a tournament in general, but to do something of this like nature with all these moving parts, this is pretty impressive. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like you've got all the normal tournament organization, and then on top you've got to design the contracts, make sure they're balanced, and then manage the overlays, which was created just for this. So I really like that.
Really amazing stuff.
And it's great for the players because even the most veteran players have never really played with these contracts and new rules before. So suddenly the game is completely different to what you're used to. I mean, how many pro players aren't turning up to TI and going, we can't go in the river for 10 minutes. That's not in their draft book.
And one of the things that kind of makes Dota the highs high and the lows lows is because of how balanced this game is. And when if you've lost, someone made a mistake, someone messed up. But when you've got these contracts flying around, like it's hard to be salty about a loss, right? Like you lost because you guys didn't find the bomb in Dota, right? It's like it's kind of hard to be like upset about that. So that's why I really like these idea of contracts because it's great if you win, but it's not too bad if you lose. The game was fun regardless if you win or lose. So they're really interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think that they've made the game more interesting, especially if you're someone who's played the game. I've played a lot of Dota. I've watched a lot of Dota. I wasn't around, I think, when Slacks was doing his Midas mode, which I know this is sort of based off. Right. I mean, if there were more tournaments like this, I'd definitely be interested in watching, playing them. It's just a great spin, and you have to you've got to create your strategy on the move because, how many times have I played against Zeus? Hundreds and hundreds of times. I know what to do against Zeus. But how many times have I had to play against Zeus and I can't go in the river and I can't smoke and he can't deward me? There's suddenly so many new parameters. You have to, on the fly, come up with these new strategies. You don't even know which effects are going to be active on the game until right before you start drafting. So it's like, you can't go in the river, go, draft a team. You're like, what? That's everything I know how to play is a lie.
Right. As this develops, as Dota University sort of builds this up, I'd be interested to see how they do. It's amazing that they've got 10 players who are following these contracts, because you'd expect one person to forget the contract, or no one stepped in the river, no one's everyone's going by the rules. Eventually someone's going to break one of those rules, and maybe they could have like a fun punishment for that, like maybe you have to break one of your items or something like that. But sky's the limit in terms of like creativity to sort of make these contracts interesting, and that's also for all levels, right? So it would be really interesting to see 7K players play this kind of thing. It'd be really interesting to see 1K players play. And it doesn't matter the skill level, it's always gonna be just as cool. So I would love to play in one of these things.
Yeah, me too. I mean, some of the contracts they've been specifically created when I was looking through the list, and thanks to the people who spent so long putting these together. But the contracts and the sabotages, for example, they were made specifically with this sort of tier of players in mind. some of these players have made great plays, but they are newer players to the game. There's a a sabotage, which means the enemy team cannot deny a creep for 5 minutes. You're not allowed to get any denies. Now, in a game at 7 or 8 KMMR, that would be like ultra top tier, right? They can't deny at all. Fantastic. But obviously, it's made a slightly lower level contract here, as the denies tend to be more around the sort of. You can see most heroes are on 5 or 6 rather than 20 or 50 or 30, which we see in the pro games. But yeah, you could definitely tune this easily for any level of Dota.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see so the can't deny thing. I wonder who would that be like what kind of mid lane matchup that would just be broken on. Like what hero would want that the most? Obviously a hero that can't contest.
It sort of becomes League of Legends then, where it doesn't matter how weak you. I don't know if you played League, but it's kind of a weird experience if you've played Dota. Even if your hero has like 30 base attack damage and a terrible animation, it doesn't matter because they can't contest it. So you can just, you don't need to buy a ton of damage. You could play like Quas, Wex, Invoker, and it doesn't matter. You're going to get every last hit. They could have a Magnus. Doesn't matter. They're not allowed to deny.
Yeah.
So it definitely would change the mid matchups a bit. Like Mirana, for example. Mirana can be a good mid hero, but she has terrible base damage. If you compare it to some of the harder hitting mids like Death Prophet.
I mean, it would be so detrimental in like a melee versus melee matchup where like melee versus melee matchups always go they just exchange last hits because they both have like insane base damage with their quelling blades and whatever. But imagine like you just couldn't deny like that. That'd be kind of interesting too. Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
We're going to go on the Pango top lane. We've got Invisrune on the axe. Is he going to blink? Is he waiting to blink to the creep wave?
Oh,
wow.
That was nice.
He was really waiting on that, but I think they had enough. Doesn't get the Cunning Blade, but they did pop quite a lot.
I respect that.
Yeah, trying to maximize his cool. I like it. Going to claim another tower nice and easily. I love the idea that you can put wards wherever you want because they're not going to be dewarded. Like Demon, you just put a ward right in front of the Morphling. Doesn't matter. He can't deward it. So what are you going to do? That would be a big change in the pro scene, not being able to deward.
Yeah.
I think there'd be some very interesting strategies. You just ward camps basically. That would be one easy way. I don't know if that's in the rules.
It's hilarious because this is literally better than all-star matches at TI. This is more creative. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Way more creative. I like the idea that you can build up stats for next game. Like, we lost the games, but we earned like 15 spies, so we're ready for next game, and we're gonna go all in with the sabotages and things like that.
No, it's so amazing because it's like the one thing that CS:GO, well, not one thing obviously, but a major difference is that it's round based and Dota is momentum based. It's like the whole game, it stretches over the whole game, whereas CS:GO and Valorant, those kinds of games are round based. But now we've got a mix of both sides, right? We've got like rounds and it's not just in a vacuum. Not every game's just in a vacuum, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's the equivalent of in CS not buying armor and smokes and just going out with a pistol.
Right.
I like that.
It's like winning against assault rifles when you all don't have a gun, and then you just destroy the rest of the game because you saved up so much.
Yeah, you can't steal other people's items though in Dota. That'd be nice. You kill them and you just pick up an item from them. Oh, I'll take that axe, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
The Dire managed to take the bot tower pretty quickly. The Radiant were trading towers, but they didn't have the speed that the Dire had. But the Dire still have Exorcism, Insanity.
Yeah, Juggernaut chasing here with Moonlight Shadow.
They know he's there.
Not gonna find anything.
He broke Moonlight Shadow with phase boots underneath the ward. So they're just gonna back off.
So 2020 vision, neither team is allowed to. Okay, so that's recent thing that they can't do now, or that was because it popped up for me.
Oh, okay, no, 2020 vision is no dewarding.
Yeah, right.
That's been active the whole game. So
okay.
As you can see, there are so many wards on this map. The Dire have 4 wards in a perfect line, you can see. And another ward up here. 5 wards on the map. There's just so much vision. You're losing such a powerful part of Zeus not being able to deward as well. Oh wow, there's a rules command in chat.
Yeah, super
pretty cool.
well organized.
All of the available contracts have been completed, so all they need to do now is try to win the game. Go to University TI. Well, I'm not sure we have the budget for that. 1.6 million.
We would be the only TI this year though, so no
Ooh,
competition.
Where would we host it though?
in our rooms. Okay, Mirana leaps for that haste turn. So the game is slowing down a bit, I'd say. Both teams kind of just farming on their side of the map. Could be Radiant is looking for a play. Now Zeus is going to boot the travel out of here. Oh, Morphling comes in.
You don't really want to be trying to combo the person with the pipe.
Yeah.
He only took, it didn't even take half his HP, and he didn't activate the pipe either. You want to be killing probably the Mirana or the Grimstroke. Grimstroke is carrying infused raindrops. That's a very smart item to have in your inventory when there's a Morphling running around.
Yeah.
Extra 120 HP anyway.
You see, Zeus is getting really close to the Ags. That could change the game a bit. That's just another insane amount of damage that's going to come out of this hero. It's just even better follow up on the axe call. It might be that little extra edge they need to get a kill.
Yeah, he's got it now as well. I mean, in my opinion, Zeus Ags is the most potent Ags in the game. I think that's going to be a kill on Roxy. Or can he escape? I don't think so.
Okay, Pango ulti comes out. Might not really be needed. Oh.
Yeah, they found Axe.
They found Axe.
Swole Goblin.
He's down.
He's going to be brought down. I think there was a TP out as well.
Dude, this is crazy that the Pangolier is head-to-head with the Zeus in net worth, considering, like, I don't know. It's just, Pangolier doesn't have this Boots of Travel. He's with his team all the time, yet he's even with the Zeus.
Yeah, Pango has quite a lot of CS. He's very good at CSing as well. One Swashbuckle with the Maelstrom will definitely clear out a creep wave.
Okay, so this you won't see often. A Zeus auto-attacking a tower because he's a race car, so he hits it twice and then he just gets out.
Yeah.
Okay, so he uses that. Oh my goodness, Pangolier almost found.
They used the Zeus ult and then they also scanned the Rose. I think this might be a bit overkill. That's a nice arrow. Pugner actually has 3 Trunkle Boots. That wasn't in the contract. Wow, that Mirana instantly killed by the combo.
He's basically telling us that I didn't really need a contract to go this build. I'm gonna go above and beyond and get a 3rd boots.
I was doing it anyway.
Yeah.
It's just they are gonna take the roast there.
All right, so there it is. That's the Aegis on Jug that we talked about before. I think it might be happening a little bit later than we might have thought, but it is happening. Are they going to walk up mid and just hit? Could be. I mean.
Yeah, they have the Exorcism ready to go. It's level 3. I think they can do it.
Wow, BKB on Jug as well?
Oh, I didn't realize that the Dire have 2 pipes. I think 2 pipes is overkill, right? One hero maybe should just stay with the hood. Oh, better safe than sorry against Zeus, I guess.
Yeah, I think that DP should have just gone BKB instead of the pipe.
I agree.
It would be really hard to burst her with the magic damage from Zeus and Morph if she had it, but
oh, they're gonna go on that. Axe is far underneath. You've got the Nimbus. She's disarmed. Oh, but they did get the silence on the Axe for a long time. They still have vision, of course, but now they're running into the Dire. A lot of damage come out from the Pango. Do you see that damage? There is a static storm there. Death Prophet is a bit stuck. Is going to go down. Morphling gets a 2nd kill. But Jug is here. He's got the Healing Ward active as well. No mana on the Morphling because Jug has Diffusal Blade. It's taking away a lot of mana. He's now decided to spin. Grimstroke ult, holding them in place. So even this tanky Morphling's finally going to go down. They're running through the Nimbus. Doesn't matter. 4 down.
Yeah.
Start hitting the tower.
Something about chasing a DP up a hill into the Jug probably wasn't what they wanted. I think what they I think they just wanted to kill that DP, and they got a little tunnel vision there. And Dire took good advantage of that. They were really on top of it. They didn't leave their DP out to dry. If this was my pub, I think everyone would have TP'd home and let me die, but Dire had their back, and that's awesome.
We still got Aegis on the jug, but he's going to go down to Zeus in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. The Zeus is so fast.
Yeah, and the cast range is crazy with the Ether Lens.
And the
Good
telescope
recovery
as
from
well.
Radiant to not lose racks there, I'd say.
The Zeus just harassed them out. They didn't have healing ward, and they thought, wow, we just have to go back now. He's killing us.
Oh, that's why he's got the telescope. I was wondering. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, he doesn't have the cast range talent. He shouldn't be. But oh my gosh. So one thing that let's take a look at. I'm looking at. Yeah, I think what should happen. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but Zeus should get the quickening charm, and someone else should get the telescope. That would really enable him to just be ridiculous with his Q and W. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
I'd like to
everything,
see the telescope on the Pugner,
Yeah, I
to
agree.
be honest.
I don't think
'cause
he
he
needs
also
that ban
benefits
brace.
from it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I mean, I don't think you need 6% spell amp on the Pugner. That would be better on Zeus, but I agree. Quickening charm for the cooldown reduction, 13%, very good for Zeus.
Yeah.
It looks like Dire are trying again to push, or no, they were just farming the wave a little bit, and they're actually all over the place. Jug's in the top lane.
Since I don't really know like the average skill level of the people watching, and just quickly brief that the telescope, of course, is an aura, so the person carrying it benefit his entire team. So they don't really need it to be on the hero that would benefit the most. They can put it on someone else, and then that hero can still benefit from it. I don't know.
I guess
Should
just keeping it
explain
on
things like
Zeus means that he
Yeah.
always has the range, like no
Yes.
matter what. So
Yeah.
maybe he
Even
just
if he's not next to the Pugna.
yeah, he might
Yeah.
prioritize that.
Which is understandable actually, because the Pugna can die, and then Zeus might be out of position after that.
True. I thought Zeus was at 505 speed. I'm wondering why he's now at 489.
Maybe that bottle in the backpack is slowing him down a bit.
Yeah,
Having
it's
to
very
lug that
heavy.
thing around.
Ah, he might have been using the faded brooch for
Yeah,
the
that
20
makes
speed.
sense. Yeah.
Wonder if he'll go boot to travel too. That's another 20 move speed.
Yep. As far as what Zeus needs in this game, what do you think? What do you think his next item is going to be?
I mean, it's quite hard, I think. There's a lot of items Zeus can pick up at this stage. Anyway, I would think either Octarine Core, Refresher, or Scythe of Vice would be my go-tos, unless he feels like he's being blown up a lot, and then maybe a defensive item, 4-staff, Blink Dagger, BKB. I think this game, because their team is so centered around bursting, I'd maybe go for Refresher, double Nimbus, double Thunder Gods. But Octarine Core, it's a safer pick, means you can spam your spells more. My choice would be Refresher. He's actually gone for Scythe, so he's decided, I've got so much cast range, so Scythe is great on Zeus, especially if he goes, I don't think he will, but if he goes for the cast range talent, you can basically Scythe someone across the team fight, which is, it's good if they want to try and kill Jug or Death Prophet before they ult, before they get away, pop their defensive spells and cooldowns.
Yeah. So these tier 4 items are coming out. So he can't use that ninja gear. He can't use that.
You can have it, but you can't.
You can have it, right? But you can't
activate
yes,
it.
Yes.
Yeah, you still get 20 agi 30 move speed. So
now this Zeus should pick up the Timeless Relic, I think.
I think that's. I know Pugner's like, no, it's mine. You can't have it.
Okay.
Very greedy Pugner.
The Shaco. I feel like the only hero. Wow, that's
Shaco's
also
an awesome item. They should give that to Morphling.
Yeah.
100% should give that to Morphling. He'll be so tanky with the Shaco.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
full agi.
Yeah, he's rocking the Grove Bow right now. It's probably not ideal.
Look how much mana he has. He doesn't need that. And if he's full agi with a Shaco, he'll still be like 3k HP with like 50 armor. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Now, Prince's Knife, can you proc that with Swashbuckle? I think you can, right?
Should be able to.
Like
If
the
it works
very
like anything
first
else.
hit of Swashbuckle should apply it. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So DP going for that scythe as well. Both mid heroes feeling like they gotta handle the disables. Oh, so there's that insta Yules coming out on the exit. Wow, that jug just blew up. Do you want to call this fight? Oh.
Alright, Pango is in. We've got the Death Prophet ult, but she's very low. Is she going to be able to survive? Uses the wand. Taking a lot of damage from the Pugnard every time she casts a spell. Morphling's on her. Does bring her down. 3 heroes already dead from the Radiant. Look at this Pango. He's doing so much damage with his Agon, and this Morphling is in. He's the last person alive. He takes the Pango, tries to use it to run away. Doesn't quite swashbuckle away. Swashbuckles into the enemy team, gets hit by the arrow, and he's going to be brought down. So it was really the Pango was the MVP of that fight. Decay with his Basher, Maelstrom, and the Axe means he gets swashbuckle also from Shield Crash. So he was just stunning, doing high damage. He was a great target for the Inkswell. And yeah, they even though they lost Jug instantly at the beginning of the fight, that's the pos 1 we're talking about.
And the DP's dying as well there.
Yeah, they lost their main cause and they still won the fight.
Yeah, Radiant's damage is very burst heavy, so it does allow Dire to sort of like play around that and have other heroes pick up the slack when those certain heroes are bursted. One thing to take note of again is that this Aghanims from Pango is also enabled by his Iascati, so Iascati is going to be proccing with his Swashbuckle, I believe. So, you know, that's pretty significant, slowing all of those heroes every time he presses his W.
Yeah, that's true. He's also hit level 26. He is a high level hero. He's the highest level in the game.
Yeah, he does so much damage.
He's got a score of 15, 5, 14. So he's done very, very well this game.
Yeah.
Certainly knows his way around the Pango.
I think he does, yeah.
I always try to play Pango, but it never works out for me.
Yeah, he's a good hero, but
yeah, he's a fun hero.
He's got a learning curve.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now you've got double damage on the Juggernaut.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, that was Brax's are gone. Well, maybe not. I mean, his spin is expiring now. And
okay, wow, that's a lot of burst on him. He does pop the BKB, he gets taunted, but he's in BKB, but Morphling is just hitting on him, but he goes for the Omni. Is the Omni going to get someone? It does take down Zeus, that's a big kill. He ends up using the spin. You've got Pugna trying to keep people alive, but the Dire, they're just too strong at this point. Exorcism is out. Morphling does have a lot of agi to turn to strength. He's going to run out. Pugna's going to die as well. The Inkswell combo, just too strong. Well, Inkswell on a very fast Ghost Lady. Not much you can do about that. They're going to force their way through the backdoor protection. And that's another set of racks going down. Do you think they can end?
Probably. Does Zeus have buyback?
No, there's no buybacks. Yeah,
I feel like they could. I mean, I'm the Zeus in that fight. Every single thing, every single slash is going on me. Just that was so unlucky. I mean, it just because there was a moment, there were so many creeps, but Jug does so much damage that he did clear those creeps up quickly. But still, I mean, having all those slashes go on you, that was really important. That's where you really ask yourself, should I have gone a defensive item there? But honestly, I don't know if it would have mattered. This Pangolier does so much physical damage as well, so it's just it's hard.
A last-ditch effort from the Axe. He pops the Blade Mail call. They do actually get a kill.
Oh, there's the buyback on Zeus.
Okay, so Zeus finally got the money for buyback, but are they going to kill the Dire? Some Jug is quite low.
Yeah.
They are slashing into Morphling. He is perma-stunned. He's stunned again. He literally was stunned for about 10 seconds there. Jug puts down the healing wards. Just being kept.
Wow, that's game-winning. That's the game-winning healing ward.
I think they were slightly ahead anyway, to be fair. But Radiant are doing all they can as Morphling has to use buyback. Do they have the means to go Death Prophet? I think they might do. She pops the Hex. She's fast. She's out there, actually. But Zeus is fast too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's so tanky.
She's kept alive. She's got the Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape plus Pipe makes for a very tanky hero. Finally going to get brought down. I think Demon, he's going to be next. Unless he just TP's out. No, he's not going to be able to TP out. Zeus is onto him. Decrepified, and now he's going to go down.
Yeah, like, I mean, I mentioned that it's game-winning because, I mean, that Jug was going to die to those tower hits. He didn't have Butterfly. He didn't really have a source of evasion. There was, like, 3 tower attacks going on him, but it came in the nick of time. I mean, if Jug was dead, I mean, they still might go Roche, but that could have been pretty key if the Jug dies there. I mean, yeah, they're pretty ahead, but yeah, you never know with Dota.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess the nice thing about the Dire is they've still got all the racks, 2 tier 2 towers, they've got Glyph. They don't really need to use buybacks even if they do die in the enemy base, because the enemy team, they've got to push up all the lanes, then they've got to take towers, get through Glyph, finally take racks. So they've got quite a lot to get through. But taking Roche, that's pretty good for them. It's denying it from the enemy team. Cheese is pretty good as well. Take that on the Morphling, maybe even the Pugna. Or just take both on the Morphling. That's probably what I'd do, because Morphling is clearly your strongest hero. Maybe Zeus could take the cheese. He could eat the cheese if he's being omnied.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh. Prince's Knife gonna be put on Mirana. So we did talk about that Shaco going on the Morphling. It did happen here. He's gonna be a lot more tanky because of that. The Axe has that Minotaur horn. Closing in on the heart as well. He's 5 gold off. We'll see whether or not he decides to commit for that heart or go for buyback. What do you think he should do?
I mean, he only needs the recipe, so I think
Right.
he's already committed to
Yeah.
not saving for buyback. I mean, if he
about
just
right,
had the
honestly.
Reaver, maybe I'd
Yeah.
say he's saving for buyback, but he bought the Vitality Booster and the Ring, and you wouldn't just carry those in your backpack if you weren't planning on getting them. I feel like the Radiant probably should be saving for buyback at this point, if they're taking the game like really seriously, because, you know, if they die, the game's over now. There's 2 lanes of racks down, the tier 4
Yeah.
towers are below half. You've got to be careful. Any death pretty much means a win for the Dire. But, you know, maybe the heart will make the difference. He's very tanky now, 3,500 HP, nearly 80 health regen. So if you don't bring him down quickly, he's just going to heal up again. When he hits level 20, he can get another 20 health regen, bringing him up to 100.
Yeah. So we went into this game thinking that Jug was the carry, but looks like Pangolier has taken his role from him a little bit here. He just,
Yeah.
I mean, he seems like the key target to burst now.
But he's got 4k HP. He's
Yeah,
got,
it's not
what's-
that easy.
Abyssal Blade and Mjolnir. He's got the pipe.
Yeah,
He's so tanky. How is
feel
he
like
so
he
tanky? He's got
wants it.
30 armor as well.
yeah.
What is going on? This Pango is insane.
And
I
Dire
don't
just
think-
has so many heroes you need to burst. Like it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, Jug went for the health talent, and Death Prophet went for the health talents. So Pango has a 16 strength talent. You know, they're all durable. I mean, Death Prophet now has a Heart of Trask, Minotaur Horn, 4,300 HP. Is going to be, you know, very, very hard to pick off. I don't see who you can burst apart from, you know, Mirana, Grimstroke.
Yeah, I mean, some teams will be like, you know, okay, they got a burst heavy lineup. You know, we've gotta do pickoffs or something. Let's figure out a way around this. And Dire just says, okay, I'm just gonna tank up so they literally can't burst us on any hero. I mean,
Well, they've achieved that.
yeah, I mean, they're so durable. Crazy.
You also, if Jug gets the Omni Slash off, then you can't burst him anyway because he's immune. I think that's what happened in the last fight. You know, he was Omni Slashing the Zeus. You can't help him.
Yep. And now that he's got the Swift Slash from his Aghanims, it's, you know, when you pick up Agnes on Jug, it's not just that added damage, it's that added invulnerability as well. It's, you know, he can dodge damage. You know, he does benefit from Healing Ward while he's slashing across all slashes, so he just becomes that much more durable when he picks up this Aghanims.
I agree. One of the things I like about Swift Slash, which I don't know if everyone knows, but Swift Slash has twice the cast range of Omni Slash. So
That's
you
an
can
important
actually,
tidbit.
so if you can close the gap a lot more easily with that move.
Wow,
And
Swift
then, of
Slash
course,
and Omni
you're
Slash, that's
in
quite the
range.
combo.
It is, yeah. And then, yeah, of course, you've used the Swift Slash, you're now ready to Omni Slash straight after if you need to.
Right.
And he's got Abyssal Blade, so he's got some gap closers. But the Dire, they were quite far ahead. You know, it's still 20,000 gold, but they are playing quite passive. I guess they can't smoke. They're standing right on top of a ward. But I feel like they should just run down mid, get the Exorcism going, and win the game. Don't know if they're waiting on something specific.
Yeah. I mean, the game didn't change too much when Morph picked up that Aegis, huh? Like it didn't really change too much.
You're right. I forgot about the Aegis. Maybe they're just waiting for it to go. I mean, it's going to go in about 20 seconds. So
Yeah.
as soon as it goes, maybe the Dire will just charge down mid. Or
Seems
take
like
the top
Morph.
tower.
Yeah, it seems like instead of completing a Satanic, he's kind of gone back for Lincoln's. I guess the Lincoln's is particularly nice against that Scythe of Vice. So he is able to just strike work. But besides that Scythe and maybe Grimstroke ulti, it's not super helpful. Does Swift Slash and Omni Slash work the same way with Lincoln's? Like it'll block the first slash, but it will still go through, right?
It's exactly the same in every other way apart from cast range and duration.
Okay.
Yeah. The Radiant are just waiting. They're like, well, the Dire have to come into us at some point, otherwise they can't win. So we'll just chill, farm up a bit. Oh, except Morphling, he's been caught in the top lane.
Wow, that Aegis actually did just run out.
Yeah, it's already run out.
Wow,
They've got the Nimbus there. I mean, enough. Morphling is very tanky, 7,000 HP, but they still managed to get down. Yeah. Also, it doesn't matter how much HP you have, Spirit Siphon drains a percentage, so it's pretty good. But Pango still manages to find 2 heroes. Look at that, perma-stunning. The range this guy has is incredible. They use the Swift Slash, that's going to be 3
the arrowhead.
Zeus pops his ult, another Yules, keeping Zeus in place. He's completely surrounded. He has an A on this. It keeps him alive for a little bit. In fact, he is invised. Glimmer Cape used. And Roxy Aurora pops down the Static Storm, but unfortunately doesn't catch anyone in it. Now Death Prophet has the ult up with the increased number of spirits. Zeus has been caught yet again. Now he uses the Scythe of Vice. Juggernaut goes for the Swift Slash yet again. Has he still got the full Omni Slash? No, he did use that. Buyback from the Morphling, but I think it's a little bit too late. It's 2 versus 5. They've still got the Exorcism up. They're hitting your Ancient. It's going to be GG.
Man, I just can't believe that. I mean, you know, these are beginners for the most part when we hear it. I mean, it looks like they timed the Aegis. I mean, I know like maybe they didn't time exactly, but that Morph lost Aegis and boom, he's dead. I mean, he was a little bit far out, but still impressive stuff from Dire. Just sort of like capitalizing on Morph losing that Aegis. Yeah, I'm impressed. Yeah, that was a great game. I mean, it almost went the distance. We almost got those 60-minute items. You never know what can happen. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that game?
Well, I think just reflecting on the last part of the game, where Morphling had the Aegis, but they never made anything happen with it.
Right.
Maybe they thought they're too weak even with the Aegis, but the Morphling definitely needed to be a little bit more aware of his positioning. And he did have buyback, and he did use it. But the amazing thing about that last fight was not that the Morphling was caught out. Okay, yeah, it happens. You've got buyback, so you don't worry. You know, it's a shame. But that the Pango started his role at the top of the top lane and still managed to get his way all the way down to the 3 other heroes who were basically inside their base. Like the range Dire had for their engagement was incredible. I did not believe that they'd actually find anyone else after they killed the Morphling. So just the Dire played really well. You know, I always forget halfway through this game that these are beginner-ish players.
I know, right? Like that's crazy.
Legend. We're around legend tier, I think. We don't have ancients. I don't think so, anyway.
Okay, so Archon, Grimstroke was a herald. I mean, this guy's competing with good players, man. Like I mean, players that know the game. I don't know. I'm impressed. I mean, at first glance, I wouldn't expect these players to be their rank. I mean, I'm impressed. Just, you know, of course they joined a tournament, so maybe they're slightly above their MMR because they know they're on the rise. But yeah, I mean, there was certain abilities that didn't, you know, come into big effect. But we kind of called from the beginning, like it's not really on Grimstroke to really be super impactful when on it with his ultimate when he's got no other single target to really synergize with, right? Like, I mean, it's not like they've got Ogre Magi, you know, just hurling out stuns with him. It's just they didn't really pick Grimstroke for that. It seemed like. Maybe it's just a comfort hero of his, but all in all, it was a great game.
It was a very good game. Yeah, at least even though they lost Goblin Town Truckers Association, they still completed all their contracts, so they've still picked up a lot of spies. Then they can now use them in in the next game. Because I believe if I look at the bracket, there is like a lower bracket as well, isn't there?
Yes, there is indeed a lower bracket, and that is where the Goblin Town Truckers Association will fall. That game will be played right after the next game that we're about to play. We're going to go to break real quick, 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to do, I believe, if I remember correctly, we're doing a caster change. We're going to get the next set of rules set up and teams in their lobbies, and we are going to be good to go. So hang out here. We'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes.